Boom.
Yo, welcome to the No Limit Podcast, aka the Going Swimming Frogcast, here with the Swim Trunk Hunk, Any Bull, and the Speedo Guido, No Limit Eddie. What up?
What's up, man? I like that intro. That was a good one.
Come with something new every now and then,
Yo, we got to give more props to you for coming up with all these intros. We got a good, rotation of intros going on.
And real shit, everyone who listens to the pod says, the intro sounds, legit. Like, it's a legit intro to a podcast.
Sure.
It ain't like, hey, what's up? We're talking this week about this.
We're the No Limit Podcast. Yeah, we don't have none of that going on.
But what are we talking about this week, though?
What's that?
What are we talking about this week?
Oh, we're talking about money. Is it backed by anything?
Right. Probably not.
And Wildwood, New Jersey. Everybody's beloved Wildwood, New Jersey.
Oh, those Wildwood days.
Dare I say the best vacation spot on the Jersey Shore. And we're going to talk about nerd culture and how it somehow became.
Yeah, when did nerd culture become cool?
Yeah, it's literally everyone is a nerd now.
And the reason for you bringing that up is because
today is May the 4th.
The day we're recording, is May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you all. Near and dear to my heart as a big Star Wars fan. I love May the 4th.
And it actually has nothing to do with the term 4th. It's because in Star Wars, May the Force be with you.
Yeah, so they literally was like, oh, May the 4th is going to be Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
Shout out Mark Hamill.
So you're a big Star Wars guy, right?
Gigantic.
So you are cool with May the 4th being associated with Star Wars?
Yeah. Yeah, I put a post on Instagram. I usually put something up on May the 4th, just to show my appreciation for... That's my little give back to Star Wars.
Yeah, and I feel like when we were younger, people thought if you watched Star Wars, you were a weirdo.
Yeah, dude, literally anything like that. When it comes to Star Wars, in detail, the amount of detail I know about Star Wars is so nerdy. Mm-hmm. But now it's maybe 15 years ago, my age, I wouldn't have been talking about General Thrawn and people that you don't even know about.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be dropping names.
When you said that, I thought you made it up and were trying to catch me not paying attention because I don't know who General Thrawn is at all.
But General Thrawn is he's a character that was made up in expanded universe books. So after the last Star Wars movie came out in 1982, there was a drought from 1982 to 1997. And during that time, authors wrote fan fiction. And Grand Admiral Thrawn was
one of those characters.
One of the main antagonists of the series books. So
you're going to be bringing a new serious viewership to us, people who love Star Wars, because they're going to know you're legit because you know that guy.
Yeah, and he is he's pretty popular if you watch Star Wars, but anybody, and he's getting more traction now because people are, nerd culture's blowing up. But 20 years ago, 15 years ago, no one knew who the hell that dude was. You had to be a real nerd to know who that was. Mm-hmm. But it's not even Star Wars. It's Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Marvel. Marvel's gigantic.
Yeah.
And it's superheroes. Do you ever read a comic book? Do you ever read a Spider-Man comic book? They're the nerdiest things on the earth.
I'd never read a comic book.
I'm going to get you, Doc Ock. They're so nerdy, dude.
And people are so into them.
And they're flipping pages. But now you see everybody you know is lining up to see Star Wars in December. Everyone. Now, Spider-Man might be a different...
and all the Marvel movies, for sure, everybody you know is
Spider-Man might be a bad example because who doesn't like Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire set the trend off in 2000 with that movie, and everybody loves Spider-Man. But people are lining up to see Ant-Man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And I know that Marvel makes these movies really good, and they really do a good-ass job making these movies and tying them all into each other and stuff. But, Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, all these nerdy-ass, obscure Marvel characters that were really obscure in the 90s are the forefront of pop culture now. Mm-hmm. Marvel almost went out of business at the end of the 90s. That's why they sold Spider-Man to Sony in the first place, because they were literally going out of business and needed money to stay alive. They would have been done. So they sold Spider-Man to Sony, and that's when Sony got the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies made, and that's why Spider-Man wasn't in the MCU for so long.
All right, so we boiled it down to some serious time frames here. So obviously, if Marvel's going to be on the way out of business, end of the 90s?
Yeah.
It's clearly not cool to be a nerd at that time.
No.
When we were younger kids, I liked Star Wars. I never liked it as much as you did or do now, but I watched the movies when I was younger, all of them.
Did you see the new ones?
No. I actually haven't watched the newest ones that came out recently.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
From 2015 on.
But I was sort of a fan watching them when I was younger, so it wasn't cool back then. So sometime between then, the 2000s, and now, the last 20 years, it became cool to be into nerdy stuff.
But you're also, when Revenge of the Sith and stuff came out in 2004, we were kids. So it's like kind of acceptable to like watch Star Wars, but like me at this age, at 24, like Star Wars, like that's nerdy as shit.
You don't know how many dudes I know that are, and most of them I know from the gym. So dudes who live a lifestyle, an alpha type lifestyle of like lifting weights, eating protein, all that type of shit. Like that collect those things. What are they called? Those
pops.
big-headed toys.
The pop figurines.
The pop figure
pops.
toys. So many dudes I know collect those things.
So
like
many.
Dudes our age, 20-year-old guys.
That No Limit, that is hardcore. One of the nerdiest things you could possibly
Collecting
do.
the pop toys.
Collecting those pop toys. Like, don't get me wrong. Collecting things, it's it's up to each individual person. Whatever you collect, that's what you collect. People collect baseball cards. People collect records. Whatever. Those pop figurines are 10 out of 10 fucking nerdy. And you would be surprised who collects them. It's a lot of people.
Bro,
they sold in StockX.
No limit. There's some type of correlation between insanely ripped black dudes at your local gym and dudes who watch anime.
Yeah.
Like Naruto.
For sure.
At 2 different gyms that I've been at, the biggest, most ripped guy watches Naruto.
Got a lisp.
It's crazy. Nah, he don't got a lisp. But yeah, 2 different dudes, both of them black, shredded to the bone. Found out through talking to them they both watch Naruto.
Gigantic
like,
anime
on the
fans.
regular.
Anime, super nerdy. What's very popular now? Anime. It's literally anything that can, and I'm not even talking about like Dragon Ball Z. I'm talking about like nerdy, like One Punch Man, like super nerdy animes.
Bro, we used to make fun of a
ripped.
kid in our grade school, and I'm sure that everybody else can apply to the situation who did the weird run with the thing behind their arms.
And look at him now. He's probably the coolest dude in his neighborhood. Because everyone, that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's literally what, like, it's the changing of the guard. Nerdy stuff is cool. And I know, like...
Especially with this new, like, being in your house more than you're outside, being the newer lifestyle.
Sure.
That nerdy stuff is...
Dude, I'm so glad you brought up
coming
them
in
pop
harder.
figurines because those are so nerdy. Like, I'm not at that level. Like, I would probably own a few, like some cool characters I thought were cool. Like, I'd probably have like a...
Well, you got the Chase Utley bobblehead. They remind me of stuff like that. Like
I do have like
bobbleheads, little toys.
I have stuff like this, but I mean, I guess this is kind of close to a. I'm gonna see if we can get that.
But
on
is that
camera.
Rocky toy going to sell on StockX for more than you bought it for?
No, like this is just something I like because I just like.
Yeah, the
cool shit
demand
like
for
this.
those pop toys is insane, especially if you get some of the good ones. It's almost like if you get like a really rare Pokemon card back in the day. You could sell it for a lot of money.
Shout out my guy at Blue Line, 17th and Rittner. Check him out. But yeah, like stuff like that. I like to collect. I don't collect pop figurines, but I do have like cool memorabilia like that. Mm-hmm. I do have things. I'm just not like an avid collector of like one. I don't collect records. I have them. I don't collect them. I don't collect little figures like that, but I have them. But some people have like a wall in their house of pop figurines. That's nerdy.
It's weird. It's like nerdy stuff we're talking about has kind of become cool, and we're just throwing this stuff in like category of nerdy stuff like Marvel, pop figurines, Star Wars. But now that's kind of transitioned to like cool stuff.
Sure.
Nerdy stuff is like doing science experiments in your room.
I don't even know what is like it was what is actually
What is nerdy now? What is nerdy
pop
now?
figurines. Pop figurines are nerdy.
But we're saying that's become cool now. So what is nerdy? If that's become cool, if all that stuff that we're throwing in the nerdy bin from the past has now become cool, what's actually nerdy that
You know
people
what's
will
nerdy
make
is like,
fun of?
is like coding when you're like 12. That's nerdy.
Yeah. I tried to learn coding. I learned RStudio, which is like a pretty big software. Please, I hope it's not hardware because I might be wrong.
Nah, it should be software.
I think it's software because it's on a computer, but I learned it like a little bit, like how to make like the simplest app ever. Like how to make an app through coding, and I could do it at the time because it was a college class and it was like a private study, so like the teacher was only showing me how to do it, and at the time I could do it, and I could do it with him, and I could even do it a little bit by myself, but it was so tedious and something that I just couldn't get into that I never further explored it afterwards. It just wasn't my thing.
Right.
Like,
Now think about the kid who's 12 years old, like after normal school, he's learning English, math. He goes home and is like, code. I'm coding.
Yeah, he's smart though.
Oh, he's smart
though.
And it, more power to him. He's probably gonna make $1 million when he's older.
Yeah.
When he's 18, but still nerdy.
Yeah, the
shit.
dude who taught me, he showed me this app that he made through using RStudio, and it was really like the simplest app ever, bro. But you could imagine, he told me that he sold this license of the app to companies, but the way you look at it is like, look, these companies that you're going to sell this app to, right? It was an app that like, for HR, like you could put people in certain bins and you see how much they make, their position title, all this. So these companies that he's selling this app to, the app don't got to look like nothing crazy. The owner of the company is some 50, 60, 70-year-old guy who don't know nothing about technology. You show him an app on a screen that works and he's buying it.
Yeah.
So it was like some real simple app that he made with like a couple tabs. And just in case anybody ever, goes through my history and finds out who the guy is, I won't say his name, but he made some money. Told me he made some serious money off selling this simple app. So the kid who's coding in his room at 12 is doing the right thing.
Sure.
Because he can make some serious money by the time he's 16 if he can really do something and get in contact with the right people that don't really know what's great app creation from average app creation.
Now, to piggyback off of that, it's also, I think, going to become one of the more saturated markets that we don't realize yet. Kids who are growing up now, where it's the technology boom and the internet boom. Kids who are like 8 years old now, by the time they're looking into going into college, they might not be looking into doing communications. It might be a lot of software and computer tech and computer science and like that kind of vein, and that might become more of a saturated market. And it's hard to come up with an app now. Like, it's doable. Did you ever see that show on HBO with the nerds? They make the app Pied Piper. Mm-hmm. They make this app. It's this great app, but they have trouble. Like, the show is like how like they're having trouble selling it and like get it, even though it's a great app. It's like it's like breaking new technology, but they're trying to get it sold, and it's tough because it's a tough market already. So think about it in another 15 years, how hard it's going to be to get recognized as an app.
Well, they claim that app developers make a bunch of apps and most of them fail.
There's only one
and
Instagram.
then there's one that really hits. Like the guy who created Angry Birds, there's like a story about him that may or may not be true or may not be a little bit fabricated, but they say that he made like X amount of apps, and he said none of them worked. Got turned down on every one, and he said, all right, I'll make one more app, and that's it. And he made Angry Birds, and then
that's insane to me. Like, imagine that really is true. Like, you know what, I'm out of this, but I really have this one idea I'm just gonna flush out, see if anything, and it blows. Angry Birds, I got movies of it. Is that still an app? Like, is that still like a thing?
Yeah, Angry Birds is one of those apps that I'll go back when I'm super, super bored, and I'll download and play.
Angry Birds was a fun game.
Temple Run 2. I will go back and download Temple Run 2.
Dude, I would be glued
when I'm bored
to
out of my mind. But
Temple
I delete it when I'm done using it. Like if
Yeah.
I'm sitting somewhere and I need to kill an hour and there's nothing else to do but play a phone game, I'll download Temple Run 2. But I delete it right as soon as I leave that place.
Those are two really good ones. I agree with that.
Bro, you want to talk about a saturated market, though? Let's talk about how saturated the coin market is. They're just making, I swear to God, the other day, last week, I saw that there was a coin called Cum Rocket Coin.
Like cum.
Cum Rocket Coin. One word. C-U-M. Cum Rocket Coin. Up in one day, 646%.
Really?
Let's push that to the side. That's a funny one just because of the name, but let's push that to the side. There's another coin, I forget what it was called, and people were saying that this one had to be some type of money laundering thing because there's no way that it could have done this. But apparently, however much percentage it went up, it was in the like tens of thousands. If you put $1,000 into that coin the day that it started and sold at its peak, I could give you 100 guesses. Nah, not 100. I give you 10 guesses. You wouldn't guess.
$1,000 into this coin the day it started.
The day it started.
And to sell it at its peak.
On the same day, you would have had 3.6 million.
Are you shitting me, dog? 3.6 million the same day?
3.6 million from $1,000 the same day. And they were saying that one had to be some type of money laundering thing.
So
because
say I did that.
there's just really no way for that to happen. But it did happen. You can look it up.
Would I actually have gotten that $3.6 million?
Dude, I don't even know, because then you get into different parts of it. Like, where can you buy that coin? Like, there's things like we talked about way back.
That's what I wanted to ask you when you first brought it up. Is like all these coins popping up. Can you even use them?
Yeah, well, like the thing is, like way back on the podcast, we talked about when stocks were popping for people. So people got more interested in the stock market, and then the stock market kind of fell off, and they became more interested in the coin market because the coin market was starting to get hot. And it kind of goes like layers down. And basic stock apps like Webull, Robinhood, those apps, they have a few coins you can trade, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin is like the smallest trading one. Well, it used to be. Went up a lot today and very recently. But then you go down further. Like, think of it almost as like how the internet, and then there's the dark web, and then like there's deeper layers to it, right? So then there's different apps that are called like Coinbase has more coins than like a Robinhood would have. Then if you go on Binance, which is a foreign site, they have a lot, but you have to be outside America to use regular Binance. Then you have Binance US, which is the US version, which has less coins than Binance. Then you have these other services that I honestly don't even know about, where you can probably buy coins like Rocket Coin, and the coin that went from 1,000 to 3.6 million. But I don't know where to find those services.
What can you do with a Rocket Coin?
Nothing. That's the thing. All you can do is use it as a vehicle to make US dollar.
See, there's something fishy about the coins. There's just got to be. Now, I also saw today, maybe you know more about this. I just saw like a brief headline. The Oakland Athletics made their first transaction using Dogecoin. Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, so with that, what happens is they don't talk about this, but all that is that the company who's accepting the payment is assuming the risk from the person who's giving the payment.
So they're accepting the Dogecoin.
Yeah, so all it is
in exchange for US dollar, like whatever the transaction was.
No, just in exchange for the thing that they want to buy. So let's say it was like tickets to the game, and a Dogecoin right now is worth about 50 cents, which is crazy. Yeah. Insane. That's a Dogecoin is worth more than 2 quarters in your hand, but you can't touch
United
a Dogecoin.
States quarters.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, okay, they buy the tickets for the game in Doge. They pay, I don't know what it is. I don't feel like doing math. Let's just call it 100. They pay 100 Doge. Give them the tickets to the game. Now the Athletics have 100 Dogecoin, which would only be like $5, like $50 or something. So it's probably more. But just to keep it easy, now the Athletics have 100 Dogecoin. And they assume the risk of, like, they could take that Dogecoin for those 2 seats, and then all of a sudden Dogecoin crashes and it's only worth 20 cents. So now the value of that Dogecoin is in the pocket of the Athletics, but it's gotten more than halved in value since they got it. But the gamble and the assumption of the risk is that the Athletics take that Dogecoin at 50 cents, and now they hold it as Doge instead of holding it as US dollar, and it can increase in value. Whereas if they get US dollar for a ticket, that's all it is. It is what it is when you get it. Like, it's in your hand. That's how that shit works.
Now, the reason we wanted to talk about this is because we wanted to ask each other, do you think there's anything actually backing our currency?
Well, first of all the coins, there's nothing backing them.
Nothing.
It's literally just a trust. What's backing them is a system on the computer that basically blacks out the transactions. You know what I mean? So nobody can intercept your money. That's what's backing them. The safety of the system behind the coin that will transfer the coin.
Right.
That's what's backing them. There's no, like, gold or silver or anything backing them. It's just the trust in the safety of the system behind the coin that you can transfer the currency between people, and that's what brings the value up and down. But, like, in a coin like Doge, I don't think there's even anything like that backing it. I really think it's just a name with a number attached to it, and that's it.
It probably is.
But like, that's getting into crazy shit that we're gonna see play out probably over the next 5-10 years.
I think it's all too new.
How that plays out. But as far as our currency, is there something behind it or not? We were told our whole life that it's gold. But even if it is, what's that really mean? Who decided that gold was worth something? Like, I don't know. So it's a tough thing to get into.
Where's all this gold?
Fort Knox, bro. It's crazy they keep so much security at Fort Knox, probably just so that nobody ever gets in there and sees there's nothing.
We literally, on a daily basis, transfer trillions of dollars across the world as a world. Yeah. There's trillions of dollars going every which way. There's nothing backing any of that.
And in the background of all those transactions is just a bunch of money printers going.
It is meaningless. It is meaningless. You cannot sit me. I will argue with absolutely no concrete evidence. I will argue you blue in the face that there is nothing backing a single U.S. dollar or yen. There's nothing's being backed.
Nothing
it's
at all.
It's just printed up.
Numbers on
it's
a
just
screen.
a number on a screen. It is nothing. It means nothing.
Yeah. And it is, but if that were to ever become popular thought, that would be horrible for those who hold a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And people also don't want to believe that like all this time that you've worked and like built up this sum of money that you're trying to save up and do whatever with, like it's all nothing. It's all just poof, magic in the air.
What really is, the banks just have you by the balls. They own your mortgage and you think you're paying off your house, but really they're just like, yeah, just give us all the cash and we'll just keep all the power and we'll have all the cash, everything in numbers on our end.
Yeah.
And then you can get your shitty little house in 35 years. Enjoy it. I'm glad you paid all your hard-working dollars to get this house that really you just gave us meaningless paper for.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Awesome. It's actually funny that you wanted to talk about this because the other night I actually had a dream that I was given gold. And I was looking at it, and in my hand I was like, this is dog shit. I was like, this is
dog shit.
It looked like clay that was like melting.
It's Doge shit.
I was like, this is what's backing our money? I was like, it's fucking shit. It looks like brown muck. Mm-hmm. But it was gold, and that's what was backing our money.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a premonition of our podcast. Well, very good. We're good. But I just don't think there's literally anything backing it. And I don't really understand exactly what that means. If there's nothing backing our money, so we have the United States is in debt, trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. It's meaningless. It's never getting paid back. You might as well stop talking about it.
Dog, every country in the world is in debt.
To who?
Exactly.
To each other?
You got me fucking
You know what I
beat.
mean? Like, we're trillions of dollars in debt to China or whatever it is. That's just to China? So what is, like, are we giving them the money one day? No. We're never giving them the money.
No.
We don't have the money to even give them because it doesn't exist.
And then in like 6 months, we'll borrow some more from them somehow.
But what are we borrowing it for if it doesn't even mean anything?
Imagine me owing you even like $3,000, and then I never pay it back to you, and then one day I just show up. I'm like, yo, I got $500 from you, right? Like that's cool. Just give me
and I'm like,
$500.
Totally fine.
Yeah, sure. Just put it on. Keep it on the tab.
How come no one questions that? Are we gonna get killed after this podcast?
Probably right now. There's been some weirdos walking past the house.
I got sniped.
Yeah, real shit.
Nah,
if
dude.
you find out me or any bull committed suicide, trust me, we didn't.
Not suicidal. I love my life. Not doing it.
Shout out Epstein.
Epstein did not kill himself. Topic for the whole
not
topic
Theo.
for the day. Yeah, Epstein did not kill himself. Yeah, dude, I just don't understand what it actually means.
Yeah.
How could you be trillions of dollars in debt?
I don't think money's backed by anything, bro. But just the system of capitalism depends on people's belief that it is.
But what's it really mean? Like you said, what the fuck does it mean to me?
Even if it was gold, yeah, what the fuck? Who cares?
What am I going to do with a gold brick? Fucking bash you over the head
walk
with it?
in the corner store with a gold brick.
Yeah.
You can't get nothing.
Nothing.
They'll send you back.
If I went to Best Buy and said, yo, can I get a MacBook Pro? They're like, yeah, it's $1,700. So I got more than that. I got this gold brick. They'd be like, dude, take a fucking hike. You have currency, you have cash that I can actually put in my cash register?
You got any Dogecoin? That's safer.
Dude, I don't understand. You really cannot go in the supermarket and buy food with a gold brick.
Couldn't. Can't.
But it backs our currency? But, like, who's checking that?
So a gold brick backs our currency, right? But you can't buy tickets to the athletics game with a gold brick. But somebody can buy tickets to the athletics game with Dogecoin.
With Dogecoin.
shit's all over the place. It's all jumbled. It's so jumbled that people. It's like when you find an iPhone. It's like when you find a pair of iPhone headphones that are so jumbled that you don't even try to untangle it.
Yeah.
That's how people feel about currency.
This is like one of those things that's like blatantly in front of all of our faces that we refuse to question as much as we should.
Yeah.
You're telling me that whatever's above $1 trillion is out there. All this money, trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars are just out there. There's no gold back in there. What do we make new gold? We don't make new gold. It's always existed.
And what it all comes down to is all the way back to the origins of just trade. Like, people just traded stuff. And then eventually somebody created a currency so that you didn't have to trade like 4 sacks of potatoes for a cow. They said, all right, well, 4 sacks of potatoes is worth these 2 pieces of paper right here. And that's going to be worth a cow. That's what happened. Eventually somebody created currency so you didn't have to trade items for items, and that you had something of equal value to these items to trade.
So the U.S. dollar was printed the first U.S. dollar was printed in 1914. Fucking Yankees are playing baseball before that. Babe Ruth was hitting bombs before the first U.S. dollar was printed.
What were people working for?
Gold coins, I guess.
Gold coins, yeah, gold coins for real.
That's really what it was. Gold coins.
So maybe that's how it started. Maybe I'm wrong about the paper thing. Maybe the trade thing was like, okay, we're just gonna get these gold coins.
It went from trade to gold coins, though, right? It had to.
Yeah, so they were trading gold coins for cows or potatoes or whatever.
You would rub 2 little coins together. I don't got 2 coins to rub together. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's how it started. But all that gold.
And then when they made U.S. dollar, they said, well, this U.S. dollar is worth X amount of gold coins.
Yes, and we're going to take all of your gold, and we're going to give you these dollars. That's what happened. That's what happened. The Rockefellers and all, they were like, yeah, you know what? We're going to give you the U.S. dollar, so give us all your gold for it. You fucking idiots.
Dog, we're done. We're done after this podcast. They're taking us. Oh, we just made it too simple for people.
I just cracked the code. I just cracked the Da Vinci Code or whatever.
And you said the name Rockefeller, bro. That dude's going to come out of the crypt himself and slice your head off with a scythe.
Come out of the crypt. I'm sure his family's still running the world.
Yeah, they are, definitely. Ain't it crazy, though, that, like, some of them have different last names, and you could literally have been walking the streets with someone who has an unlimited access to funds in their bank account.
Oh, yeah.
But you know they're told, like, you can't act like that. You got to act like a normal person. It doesn't matter that John Rockefeller is your great-great-uncle. You got to pretend like nothing's going on.
Nope. You're normal
You're
average
Willie
Joe.
Weathers.
That's unbelievable. Wow. Interesting. Super fucking interesting.
All right, but before the fucking Rockefeller family hunts us down and kills us, let's give a little free promo for Wildwood, New Jersey.
I love Wildwood, New Jersey. I stand by that statement. I think it is, and me having only been in like 4 other places in the entire world, I want to say it's like a top of the line vacation spot. There's just something about it. I know a lot of it's tied to nostalgia for me, and probably you too. Like, your grandparents have a house down there. You've been going down there forever. There's just something like about the nostalgia of going there and all of the great times that I've had there that, like, when I roll over the bridge,
I know, you smell that air.
I'm so ready to have more good times.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going there to have a bad time.
Yeah.
I'm going there to, party,
Wildwood
drink.
was one of those places where when you think about, like, long nights sitting out on your deck, like a cool summer breeze.
But there's something about Wildwood that you become a different entity when you're down there. You will stay out from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. the next day, drinking on the beach all day and partying all night. And you're still not tired. You're like, yeah, I'm going to sit on the deck all night and smoke.
It's that salt water in the air.
Yeah, you don't stop. They're just it's go. Every night's a Saturday night. Oh, those Wildwood days.
Every night is a Saturday night.
Can we intro the podcast with Wildwood days for this?
No, but I'll put it on right now in the background. Fuck copyright.
Yeah, we don't get paid for this anyway.
Yeah, we need 300 more subscribers before we're allowed to be paid by ads, and we would have to stop putting all copyright music on our shit.
300 more subscribers. You heard them just now.
Maybe like less now. Maybe like 295. We might have 705.
Yeah, because I know we just cracked 700 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much for that. No limit. So definitely find it in your heart this week. I want to plug this all over Instagram. Find it in your heart to just take 2 seconds. Go on No Limit Podcast on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. help us monetize with ads. It'd be fantastic. We haven't asked you once to do it. I mean, we're only 7 episodes in. We haven't asked you one time to go subscribe to the YouTube on the actual podcast. I know we type it up on Instagram.
I actually just sorted that the other day. I don't want to venture too far off Wildwood, but every YouTube video I watch, the dude stops in the middle of the video and he's like, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We haven't done that to you guys once, so we can get one off right here. But back to Wildwood, bro. It's just one of those places that, you think all you think of is good times when you're down there. You really don't think of any bad times.
What's the best pizza place in Wildwood?
Sam's. I'm
It is
a
Sam's.
simp.
It
I'm
is
a simp.
Sam's.
It's
Sorry,
Sam's.
guys.
I'm a
It's
simp.
Sam's. There's a lot of good food in Wildwood, too, by the
And
way.
Sam's tastes so different from any pizza that we could get in Philly or even other people that travel to Wildwood, like Delco. Like, it tastes so different than those other pizzas. I feel like Max is a good pizza, but it's more similar to the taste of something from
I
city.
agree with that. It's more like
Or-
a city pizza or
yeah.
something. Or like an Oogie's.
Yeah.
Sam's is definitely really different, but you think we have like a build
Very
up in our
local
minds?
topic. We saved it for the end, so if you want to shut us off because
Yeah.
you're from fucking California or Sweden.
It is what it is. Where's our boys at from Eastern Europe? Where are they from?
Oh, some crazy shit. Bulgaria.
Shout out you guys.
Hey, but if you ever want to visit Wildwood, I'll be down there. I got a guest room for you.
I'm telling you what, Atlantic City's got an airport. Fly in. It's not that far. It's only a 20-minute drive from Atlantic
But yeah,
City.
Max Pizza, bro. It's not any much different from other pizzas. I feel like Sam's has a unique, distinct flavor, and it's good. It's the best.
I just think that Wildwood has it all. It has great food. It's got good beaches. You know, you can fish in the bay. You can go out to the sea and fish.
You can lay by the bay, eat some hay. I just may.
What do you say?
No limit.
You get mini golf. The boardwalk's popping.
Mini golf. They're some of the best memories down Wildwood.
And it's like everyone goes mini golf when you go to Wildwood. If you went with your family to Wildwood for like a week, you go mini golfing.
100%.
You get ice cream.
That's cool.
Drink up. Drink up. See what I would do for this guy. Come on. But
You never go thirsty with me.
and there's just
made that
something
up.
about like everyone's shore house in Wildwood too. It all has like that same like decor.
Yeah.
It's like that sea life, like there's shells everywhere. Like you walk in anybody's shore house, there's shells all over the wall.
Yeah.
Every pillow's like pink and like mint green. Like everybody's house is like that. I swear to God.
the Wildwood bed set.
Dude, and then there's just those gigantic houses.
And somehow it can be so hot in the middle. Well, the ocean water doesn't get that great until like July, but it can be so hot during the day that you can go to the beach and get a serious sunburn or a serious tan if you're unlike us. And then at night, somehow you can sleep with no air condition, just the windows open,
Yep.
maybe a fan on.
Maybe a fan on. You need a fan, but like it's not brutal.
Yeah.
You can chill there. Sometimes you wear a hoodie at night, like up until the middle of June. You'll like be like wearing a hoodie at night.
Dude, it really is a magical place. Like what you said about it being like just a bank of good memories makes so much sense because I feel like every time I've ever done anything down the shore at all ages of my life, I just enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it.
Like I'm thinking right now,
You
I'm
never wanted to
thinking,
leave.
reminiscing about like riding the log flume late night.
You never wanted to leave Wildwood when you left. It was always a sad thing.
Yeah.
Like, damn, we're leaving.
I actually been slacking on Wildwood the past couple of years. You got me ready to hit Wildwood hard.
I'm
this
ready
summer.
to hit Wildwood. I'm ready for some day
I'm
trips.
ready to hit the fucking boardwalk.
Like I'm ready to
and
get
go
anywhere.
on rides.
Dude, I will drive down there this weekend if the rides are. No, they don't open until Memorial Day weekend. Damn.
One of the best things about Wildwood, and we're also stuffing this at the end of the podcast, so if anybody wants to bitch about it, hopefully they shut it off by now. They don't give a fuck about masks down there or any
Nope.
of that shit.
Nope.
They don't care about that at all.
Last summer, the middle of the pandemic, like it was still kind of fresh because of what the pandemic started in like March and like really hit in like April. Like by Memorial Day weekend, June, July, down the shore, it was a free for all.
It's like one of those places where if you're wearing a mask, they'll be like, what the fuck's this guy doing?
Take it off.
You don't got to wear one
And
of those
there
here.
were bars maxed out.
Yeah, and there probably
Wildwood.
was some COVID spread, honestly.
I was down there all summer almost.
You didn't
and
get it?
I did not get it. I got it when I got back to Philly.
Yeah.
In an empty bar. I got it in an empty bar in Philly. There was like 8 people in there.
Somebody was a super spreader.
Somebody had it, and I think I know who.
Yeah, bro, you want to stop this podcast right now and just go down Wildwood?
I will go to Wildwood and get some Sam's Pieces right now. What time is it?
All right.
Well, we can make it down right
All
now.
right, guys, we're about to leave and go to Wildwood.
Peace.
We hope you see us down there. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. And peace. No limit.
Love yous.
Let's go. We're out. Wildwood.
Let's go.